So today we are visiting the city wall. We are going to have a guided tour of the city wall, and if you can see around, if you can pan around, you can see, you know, the old wall. It's a beautiful wall, and this wall apparently is about 600 years old and was built many years ago.
During the Joseon dynasty.
Exactly. And during that time, of course, they wanted to protect the city from any other external invasions and all that. And so this wall, as it stands, of course, I am sure it has been taken care of in a good way, in terms of they have tried to maintain it. So
yeah, because it's a heritage,
yes,
cultural heritage.
Exactly. And so it stays, you know, it looks pretty nice. You can see from that. So we're going to have the tour, and this will be a guided tour later in a couple of minutes, and I will show you the beautiful scenery and the things that have been happening, because there are certain sites that are of importance, and we'll talk about that. Stay with us.
The capital city of Joseon Dynasty was Hanyang, not Seoul at the time. And at the present time, just for information, the size of Seoul became much larger than that one, because it's done over 600 years ago. So currently, size of Seoul is a little bit more like this one, because there is a Han River in the southern part of that. So only the upper part of the Han River used to be a capital city named Hanyang. And in specific, this is the place. Currently, we have Gyeongbokgung Palace. I don't know whether you've been there before.
Not yet.
Okay, so anyway, this is the Gyeongbokgung Palace, first built in 1395. By the way, Joseon Dynasty was found, Joseon Dynasty was founded in 1392, and then in 2 years, 1394, they moved in this area and choose this area as a new capital of the new dynasty of Joseon. In 1 year, they built Gyeongbokgung Palace, because this is a place for the king to sit and then manage overall control of the Korea at the time, the Joseon Dynasty at the time. And then in 1 year, which means the 1396, they built the city wall like this. When you take a look at the overall picture of the Hanyang, it looks like a kind of big basin or crater, as it is surrounded with the 4 mountains to the north, south, east, and west. All right? And then, let's see. So, today we're gonna walk along the city wall on this area of Naksan. Naksan is the name of the mountain, which is situated in the east part of the city wall. All right. So actually, we are now here in front of the big gate like this one. Okay. Let me talk a little bit more about the back side of that one. Once they built the city wall, which is 18.6 kilometers long, and then they built 4 big gates to north, south, east, and west, and 4 small gates in between. Because Joseon Dynasty was pretty much highly class society, starting from upper class people, including royal family members and noblemen and things like that, and middle class, which consists of the specialties such as artist, medical doctor, or architect, something like that. Okay, and then commoners like me, and then someone to come. So because of that, there is a rule: only the commoner and above group can go through the big gates. However, servant and transportation of animals and how do you say beer, which is coffin of dead body, supposed to go through only small gates. All right, and then interestingly, they put the name of each gate according to the 5 critical virtues of Confucianism, which was adopted by Joseon Dynasty as a ruling principle. And then starting from the benevolence, the meaning of that gate is benevolence and righteousness to the west, and propriety. And then also is a kind of the wisdom. And in the middle, the trust, something like that. So I think it's a very good idea because such big gate is the places where many people come in and out. And whenever they see, so, oh, yeah, from now on, we have to be more benevolent, something like that. Yes. It's a very good idea. Okay, anyway, so that's the overall picture where we are, what they did, and when they would build and things like that. And then this one is very special compared to other 3 big gates. Number 1, the name of that consists of not 3 letters, which is very common. It's 4 letters. Third one is the initially inserted as a meaning, a symbol of mountains, because out of those 4 the mountains, the height of the mountain here in Naksan is the lowest. Because of that, they believe that it's not strong and good enough to protect any enemies coming from outside. That's why they psychologically they added 1 more letter, having a mountainous image, so that they can spiritually be okay. And then another one is practically, physically, they added another part of this part. This is a kind of, we call, how to say, semicircular shimizu wall on top of the main city wall. Other gates, they have no such things. Understand? So physically, mentally, psychologically, they added. Because once again, this area is the one of the lowest. There is the evidence, easy to understand. Because in the middle, there is a Cheonggyecheon. The origin of Cheonggyecheon comes from the mountains areas here and then flow down and across in the middle of that one. Water flows this way means this area is the lowest area out of the entire part of the inside of it. Understand?
Yeah, because
That's why they would like to strengthen physically and mentally by adding such letters and something like that. Okay? Okay, this is for your gift.
Thank you.
This is gate. Would you please look up the ceiling over there? There is some animal.
Dragon.
What's that?
Dragon.
How do you know that? This dragon? Have you seen dragon before? No. How do you know that? Please let me know. Okay. This is dragon, yes. Dragon has many different meanings. Basically, it's a symbol of the king sometimes, as well as the something good, but very powerful, things like that. But the reason why long time ago, in Asian countries, because they really respected dragon, because dragon is never shown up in the sunny day. The dragons always bring the crowd, and then they eventually bring the rain, because majority business at the time was farming, and then as long as farming is concerned, rain is very critical. That's why we respect it when we can see some rain, something like that. So anyway. So this is one pair of the dragons over here, and this is the way. Okay?
All right.
The letters engraved on the stone like this one. Over 600 years ago, 1396. Even though King mobilized the people from the rural areas to build the city wall, but the size of city wall, and if you also think about what kind of equipment we could use at the time to build up, it would be very, very difficult job. The shape of the stones and size is different by that different time frame.
Yes.
In the beginning, during the foundation period, we normally used natural stone as they were.
1930.
There is no trimming, things like
Yeah.
that. And then during the reign of the Sejong the Great, 1422 they started to trim, but use the small stops on the upper part of that, and then big stops in the bottom. And then from the 18th centuries, they started to use the square-looking or a little bit rectangular style, but such kind of shape like this one. And then later on, the size became bigger like this one. So when you take a look at the stones in terms of size and shape, you can assume that, this part was built or renovated certain time period based on such kind of things. All right?
I see.
Take a look at the semicircular Shimizu wall. Can you see that?
Yes.
Yes.
There's some entrance. So the people from the outside goes this way, and then to come into the inside of the city, they have to stay in such an area for a while.
Yeah.
If those enemies were there,
Yeah.
as soon as they arrive at the place and then stay there for a while, it will be automatically surrounded with the soldiers who are trying to shoot the arrow
Yeah.
on the wall. So that's the way. That's it.